Welcome to the warm-up presented by Ford. Trade rumors, revisiting trades. Fellas, I just got to let you know I wouldn't trade you for the world. How about that?
I would trade you in a heartbeat.
Hey, no, look. I'm going to be very honest, Chris. I wouldn't trade you, but I am going to listen. Because sometimes if you listen closely, you might get a little something better.
You might get an Anthony Davis.
Listen.
Me,
I'm trading him.
You trading him?
What?
No matter what no matter the conversation
That first phone call.
Oh, my goodness.
Sam, we're going to offer you nothing for something.
I'm Chris Miles here with
deal.
you. All right, 6 games tonight, half of them starting at the top of the hour. Your leading scorer, James Harden, playing host to the Philadelphia 76ers. That's at 8 Eastern. Philly riding a 3-game losing streak as they ride into Texas. King James and the Lakers on a 3-game winning streak. Anthony Davis set to face his former team, the New Orleans Pelicans. 34 games into the season, I'd say this trade working out for AD and company as they sit on top of the Western Conference standings. Here's AD.
They've been playing great, been shooting the ball well, especially in their last 2 games. They've been playing great defensively in their last 6 games. So, our game plan is based off of that, and not more so, individual players. Knowing that those guys did play here, and it's going to be, emotional for them. But we try not to go in the game thinking about, that these guys are trying to prove something. We go out there and play our style of basketball and do what we're supposed to do on the defensive end to kind of, slow those guys down.
I think we're a better team than we were a few weeks ago. I think we're just more locked in, a little bit more sense of urgency. Trust factors is there more, and we're just continuing to progress.
Well, let's take a look back at all the pieces David Griffin and Trey Landon got in return for Anthony Davis. That 4th pick in the draft was traded for 2 picks who became Nickeil Walker-Alexander and Jackson Hayes. Brandon Ingram having a breakout season. We just heard from him, leading the Pelicans in scoring and rebounds at 25 and 7 a game. However, the 2nd pick in the 2016 draft has some thoughts on his extension not being picked up in the summer. Sam, Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray, Buddy Hield are all other lottery picks from that draft that had their extensions picked up. And, of course, Ingram involved in a trade in the summer. We know he was injured late last season, but he had some very strong words saying, hey, I feel like I'm better than those guys, but my extension wasn't picked up. What do you make of that?
Well, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can say what you want to say, 3D, but at the end of the day, it's the results on the court. Look, I give Brandon Ingram this much. He went to the Lakers. He was in a tough situation, especially when you come in, 3D, and you're supposed to be the building block, the face of that franchise, and then all of a sudden, LeBron James comes to town. That just kind of throws a monkey wrench in everything. That being said, I think Brandon Ingram in New Orleans is finally in the place he needs to be. He's finally playing the type of basketball that we all thought could play. And I think at this point, why talk about that?
Yeah.
Your game is speaking for itself.
Hello.
Just go keep playing and doing what you have to do. And to this point, he's now proven, not just to New Orleans, but to the rest of the league, that he is a viable NBA player. And right now, he's playing at just a notch below being an all-star. So if I'm Brandon Ingram, stop talking and just keep balling.
Okay, the other guy, the number 1 pick from the draft, Zion Williamson. It's interesting to say the other guy in this situation, but practiced Thursday for the first time. He said that he wished he could play 2 weeks ago, and it's seeming like he's itching to get back on the court. But there seems to be 2 train of thoughts here, 3D. Zion to sit out the whole season or Zion to play when he's ready in a few weeks. Where are you on?
Well, let me address the first thing. Brandon Ingram, to Sam's point, and stay with me, Chris, should be excited because he got drafted by the Lakers, then LeBron James came and he kind of shook up things. Then he gets traded to New Orleans. The number 1 pick is Zion Williamson. What if Zion's playing right now? You may not get the touches you're getting. You may not be featured.
You wouldn't be in position to get paid.
Alvin Gentry may not be featuring you the way he's featuring you.
He wouldn't be featured.
Because he'd be giving the ball to Zion. Or when Drew Holiday turns that corner, I see you be out, but there goes Zion flying to the rim for the alley-oop dunk.
You would be the third option right now.
So to Sam's point, keep balling, stay healthy, get in the gym early, leave late, keep watching film, keep proving, because he's a coach, keep proving to Alvin Gentry that you're bringing it every night on both ends of the floor. And guess what? Now you send your representation, hey, Griff saying, hey, man, it's time to get that bag. That's how you get your bag. Social media today, yeah, you get people riled up and talking about it, but what you do on the court and what you do consistently each night, that's how you get your bag.
So 3, what about Zion?
Zion?
Should he play this
So phase
season?
two.
What are you expecting from him?
I'm on the fence with this one because we've seen it in the past with Ben taking the year off. We saw Blake Griffin back and they take the whole year off. Joel Embiid. We've seen it. I'm on the fence. I'm going to listen to Zion. I thought his quote the other day when he had the interview saying that when he feels good enough, he wants to go to Griff. He wants to go to, I think, Trajan Langdon, one of the general managers. He wants to go to them and say, I'm ready to play. So if he comes to me and says ready to play, I'm leaning towards that. But I know he might think a little different about that.
Well, look, I want the player. Players are always going to want to play.
Right.
That's what you want. I don't want a player to be like, well, I really can't. No. I want him fighting me every day to get back on the court. That being said, Zion Williams will not touch that court until a team of doctors. Not one doctor, not two. It's going to have to be 2, 3 doctors. And we're going to have to sit in the room with the owner, the coach, the general manager, all the decision makers, including Zion and his family, and determine, look, I don't have a problem with him playing this year. If the doctors, not doctor, doctors.
Plural.
Clear him. If the doctors say, because this is the thing, I don't have a problem with him sitting out all year if it's going to be better for him. But if it's not going to be better for him and he's healthy enough to play, go back to when Michael Jordan broke his foot. Even though the Bulls weren't going to be in the playoff, Michael wanted to play. They let him come back and play. Zion Williams at some point got to get on the court.
So, Sam, what about the playoffs for the Pelicans this year? They're only 3.5 games back. They've won 4 straight. That's still a possibility for them, even though it may have seemed like it wasn't.
If you activate Zion Williams and you go out there and you make the playoffs and Zion Williams is hurt and that knee is not completely healed, you look at Blake Griffin, and he's hobbling around like Blake Griffin. You know what you should do after that? Just go look in your office and make all the phone calls to all your friends in the NBA because you get ready to be going. Start packing. Dude, it don't make look, man. What? Okay.
Yeah. No,
if he comes back and he plays and they're the 8th seed and they get beat in the first round, does that help you? No, because now you don't get as high a pick. Look, the season is what it is right now. If you can make the playoffs and Zion Williams is healthy and it's time for him to play and the doctors say he should play, play. But if those doctors are not, if those doctors are not 100% sure, what's the rest of this season going to do for him? Let him continue to learn because from what I understand, he's learning how to walk again, how to run again. He's changing how he has to play so he can have longevity.
When you say learn how to walk and run, you mean the technique.
The technique, because they're trying to take that pressure. Zion Williams is a big dude, naturally. They're trying to teach him how to run and jump again so he can take all that pressure off those knees.
All right, coming up a little later, you get to ask 3D and Sam questions.
2 sharp guys right there,
Ask
boy.
the Analyst segment. So hop on Twitter and send
I'm going to say, give me some makeup. Look how shiny I am, 3D. Man, is that a new picture?
No, you had hair in that picture, Sam.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.